Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is the place for all tech enthusiasts to learn and keep yourself updated with the latest technology trends, career insights, and smart strategies for growth. Thank you so much for the amazing response to our last video on the business analyst career path. If you haven't checked that one yet, make sure you do. We have also got tons of other videos designed for easy understanding with real-time explanations and cleared out resolution to help you declutter any confusions about IT career. We cover the latest in tech, including trending tools, industry updates, cloud technologies, data analytics, AI ML basics, career roadmaps, tips for cracking interviews, and step-by-step project breakdowns. So if you want to stay ahead in your career, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Now let's jump into today's topic, how you can ace your very first business analyst interview no matter your background or experience. But first, let me tell you about Aman. Aman was a fresh graduate with great academic credentials but no practical experience. He bombed 5 interviews. Why? Because he gave textbook answers, didn't tell stories, and didn't show how he could add value. After shifting his approach to focus on problem solving, storytelling, and understanding companies' needs, he not only cleared interviews but also received multiple job offers. That's exactly the mindset and approach I want to help you build today. The real role of a business analyst, what interviews really want. Many freshers think the BA role is about taking notes or just documenting requirements. But it's so much more. The business analyst is the connector between business stakeholders and the technical team. You help answer the questions. What problem are we solving and why? Imagine you join a company developing a healthcare app. Your job isn't just to write down what doctor says. You have to understand patient needs, regulatory rules, data privacy concerns, and how the technology can support these. This means you need to translate complex business problems into clear, actionable requirements developers can implement. That's why interviewers want to see you think critically, communicate clearly, and understand business values. So when they ask, what is a business analyst? Don't just define the role. Instead say, a business analyst serves as a liaison between business stakeholders and the technical team. I analyze business processes to identify problems or opportunities, gather and document clear requirements, and ensure that the delivered solution aligns with strategic business goals and provide real value to users. Notice how this answer shows you understand the impact of the role beyond just writing documents. It shows awareness of outcomes, not just outputs. Top 12 interview questions and how to master them. Tell me about yourself. This is your chance to make a great first impression. Many candidates stumble here because they give a long, unfocused life story. Instead, craft a concise elevator pitch that highlights your education, skills, and passion relevant to business analysis. For example, I recently graduated with a degree in business administration where I developed strong analytical and communication skills. I completed coursework in requirement gathering, process modeling, and data analysis, and I'm excited to apply these in real-world projects as a business analyst. Why this works? It's brief, relevant, and shows eagerness. It tells the interviewer who you are professionally without oversharing. What is a business analyst? Here, go beyond dictionary definition. Demonstrate that you understand the purpose and value of the role. For instance, a business analyst helps organizations solve business problems by analyzing processes, gathering requirements, and bridging communication between stakeholders and technical teams. I see it as a strategic role that ensures technology delivers measurable business values. Notice how you emphasize value delivery. Companies hire BAs to solve real problems, not just to create paperwork. How do you gather requirements? Now, this is a fundamental skill, so your answer should show process and care. Start by saying you engage stakeholders directly through interviews and workshops, because talking to the people who actually use the system uncovers true needs. Explain that you document these needs clearly, often using tools like user stories or process flow diagrams, and that you always validate requirements with stakeholders to avoid misunderstandings later. For example, if you're gathering requirements for an e-commerce website, you would speak with sales team, customers, and IT to understand what features are must-haves versus nice-to-haves. The key here is to show that gathering requirements is a collaborative, iterative process, not just one-time data collection. How do you deal with conflicting requirements from stakeholders? This is where your communication and negotiation skills shine. Explain that when stakeholders disagree, you listen carefully to understand each party's perspective and the underlying business needs driving the request. Then you facilitate discussions focused on shared goals and business priorities. For example, if marketing wants a flashy new feature but finance worries about cost, you would help the team weigh benefits against budget, perhaps suggesting a phased rollout. Show that you act as a mediator who balances different interests while keeping the project aligned with strategic objectives. What tools are you familiar with? Even if you're new, mention what you know and your willingness to learn. Talk about Microsoft Excel for data analysis, Jira for tracking requirements and user stories, Confluence for documentation, and any basics of SQL to query data. You can say, while I'm still gaining hands on experience, I've completed online tutorials on these tools and understand their roles in BA work. Why this matters? It shows initiative and that you're prepared to hit the ground running. What is your approach to documentation? Good documentation is clear, concise, and accessible. Explain that you use standard template like business requirement documents, BRDs, or user stories to structure information. You also involve stakeholders in reviewing documents to ensure accuracy, preventing costly misunderstandings during development. For example, if you write a BRD, you include purpose, scope, functional requirements, and acceptance criteria, all traceable and testable. Explain a use case or user story. User stories are short, user-focused descriptions of functionality. Here's a classic format. Focus on user, goal, and benefit. For example, as a registered user, I want to reset my password via email so that I can regain access without contacting support. Explain that user stories help developers understand exactly what to build and why, focusing on user value. How do you prioritize your tasks? Prioritization is essential because resources are limited. Explain that you assess business values, deadlines, and dependencies. For instance, you might prioritize a critical compliance feature over a cosmetic UI update. What do you know about Agile? Many companies use Agile, so basic knowledge helps. Explain that Agile is an iterative approach where work is done in sprints, allowing for continuous feedback and adaptation. Mention key ceremonies like sprint planning, daily stand ups, retrospectives. If you have no experience, emphasize your willingness to learn and how Agile promotes collaboration and responsiveness. How do you handle pressure and deadlines? Talk about staying calm, breaking down tasks, prioritization, and focusing on what you can control. Give an example from your life where you met a tight deadline by organizing your work and asking for help if needed. Interviewers want to see resilience and time management skills. Why do you want to be a business analyst? This is your chance to show passion and alignment. Focus on your love for problem solving, communication, and learning about how businesses operate. You might say, I enjoy understanding complex challenges, communicating with different teams, and helping build solutions that make a real impact. Describe a challenging project and how you managed it. Even if academic or internship based, frame it as a problem solving story. For example, in my final year project, we had to build a business case with incomplete data. I organized the team, identified gaps, and gathered additional information through interviews, which helped us complete the project successfully. Behavioral questions. The STAR method deep dive with real life example. Behavioral questions reveal your mindset and soft skills. STAR helps you answer clearly and impressively. Let me explain STAR in detail. Situation, set the context. Task, what was your role or goal? Action, what you specifically did. Result, the positive outcome. Let's take a look at example, conflict resolution. Interviewers want to know you can handle tough interpersonal situations. Situation, in a college group project, one member was not contributing. Your task, ensure project completion without conflict. Action taken, I talked privately to understand his challenges, redistributed tasks according to strength, and motivated the team. Result, our project was completed on time and received top grades. Notice how the story shows leadership, empathy, and problem solving, key BA skills. Let's take a look at example of learning quickly. Showing your ability to learn is crucial for freshers. Situation, internship required Excel macros, which I had never used. Task, complete data report in 2 days. Your action, took online tutorials, practiced intensively overnight. And your results, mention delivered accurate reports impressing the team. This shows initiative, adaptability, and commitment. Use your own experiences and structure them similarly. Even small stories are powerful. Handling difficult situation, conflict, ambiguity, and stakeholders management. Real jobs aren't clean. Requirements change, people disagree, information is missing. Conflicting requirements. Explain that when you face conflicting demands, you identify root cause and business priorities. For example, if marketing wants a flashy new feature but IT is concerned about stability, you facilitate discussions focusing on ROI and risk. You might propose phased delivery, quick wins first, complex features later. Ambiguous requirements. You don't get perfect info. That's why asking clarifying questions is vital. You might say, when a requirement is vague, I seek examples, use prototypes, or involve multiple stakeholders to gain clarity. Difficult stakeholders. Show empathy. You listen first, understand concerns, then present facts aligned with business goals. You might use data or user feedback to persuade. Understanding tools and technologies for BA role. Even if you haven't used tools professionally, understanding their purpose helps you during interviews. For example, Jira is a popular tool for tracking user stories, bugs, and project progress. Knowing its role shows you are ready to integrate into agile teams. Confluence helps document requirements and collaborate. You can mention familiarity with how documentation lives in a shared digital space. Excel and SQL basics are invaluable for data analysis. Even if you're not a data scientist, knowing how to pull and interpret data helps make smarter business decisions. Wireframing tools like Balsamiq or Figma let you create visual mocks, which help stakeholders visualize data. If you're learning these tools, mention specific online courses or certifications. It shows commitment. How would you measure the success of a project? Don't just say by delivering on time. Think deeper. Here's how you can answer. Success is measured by KPIs aligned with business goals. For example, increased user satisfaction, cost savings, or revenue growth. I would work with stakeholders to define measurable metrics before project starts. Describe a time you managed multiple priorities. Talk about organization and communication. For instance, during my final semester, I juggled coursework, internship, and a part-time job by using a detailed schedule, prioritizing urgent tasks, and communicating deadlines clearly to all involved. What makes a good requirement? Emphasize clarity and testability. A good requirement is clear, concise, unambiguous, and measurable. It should be feasible and agreed upon by stakeholders. How do you handle missing information? I document assumptions explicitly and communicate them to stakeholders. I actively seek missing information through questions and research and update requirements as I learn more. Let's finish strong. Here are the biggest mistakes freshers make and how to avoid them. Memorizing textbook answers without understanding them. Interviewers spot this immediately. Avoiding tough questions instead of showing your eagerness to learn. Not researching the company. Every answer should reflect you know who you're talking to. Poor communication. Practice clear, confident speech and avoid rambling. Remember, the interview is a conversation. Be yourself, tell your story, and show your mindset. The most important thing, don't fear rejection. Aman got rejected multiple times but learned and improved every time. That's how you succeed. If you found this video valuable, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one for more career building insights.